Good morning. Morning, everybody. Y'all see we out in the garden this morning. And I came with totally nothing to talk about, but it's good to be back out here in the garden. And yes, my sister helped me get back out here. It's nice to come out here and see all that done happened. We came back out here for the first time yesterday. You know, I have to show y'all later the stuff we picked from out here, what we got out the garden yesterday. Y'all see these sunflowers? Good morning. Morning. Thank you for coming through. Thank you for hitting the like button. We just out here enjoying our morning. It feels good to be back out in the garden. Good morning. Good morning. We just out here enjoying the beauty of the garden this morning. Thank you, Fig Tree. Thank you very much. I know, don't they just make your day like look better just by looking at them? Every now and then I would get a sunflower here and there, because of what we feed our chickens here. Um, and we randomly get them. And so thought to myself, why not just plant a whole bunch of sunflower seeds together? And now that I see them like this right here all together, and I just love the sight of it, it's like brighten up your morning to walk out in the garden and see that every morning. So I think I'm gonna keep that going. In fact, I think I like it if I had all of the different colors of sunflowers in the back of them, to walk out here and just see a field of that right there every morning is beautiful. And if you could just see, the bees are so busy all on the inside of the flowers. They ain't worrying about me. They just doing what their job is. Sunflowers should be a representation of peace. They're just so pretty to look at. Hey, growing with Hudson, how you doing this morning? Thank you. Growing with Hudson, they do the same thing for me. Come out here and it's like, whoo. I love seeing the sunflowers in the morning. I was just saying to Fig Tree in the chat that every now and then I would see one grow in the yard in various places because of the chickens moving them around and the squirrels. They just randomly grow all over the yard. So I was just thought this time I was like, why not make a patch of sunflowers? And I think even after this one right here finishes, I think I'm just gonna keep it going because I love coming out here and being able to see this at this apartment. Hopefully, I'll get a date at this appointment. All right, good for you. I am right now. There's enough in here for us to send up a prayer that growing with Hudson gets the appointment that she is hoping for in Jesus' mighty name. Amen. Um, so growing with Hudson, you gonna come out of there with all that you need this morning. I believe that. Um, good morning, Miss Coffee. Good morning, good Miss Coffee. Let me tell you something. I don't know what happened to your live stream the other day, but honey, you was putting it down on that prayer. You was saying, towards the end, you said you was gonna close out with that. I, I was stumping my foot because it was over with. But I appreciate you for that always. Um, Thanks for sharing your peaceful backyard, enjoying my coffee, and listening to your birds chirp. I Fig tree, sometimes I be saying I'm just gonna come live and I'm just gonna sit here and talk. But when I see people, I can't resist the urge to talk to them or whatever. But it's such a some just last week the garden wasn't so peaceful because snakes kept showing up, and so it took me away from here. I ain't been out here in a minute, and some other things came up, but it's like my sister came to visit yesterday, and it was like a joy that was inside of me to come and show her, because though she's seen me grow things before, she's never seen me grow in this magnitude. And even listen to that, we talking about growing. I said she's never saw me grow in this capacity. So it was another spark of energy to bring her back here and be able to show her. And though she see it on video and everything, but to be standing in the midst of it is something else. So even my nephews and things, they were amazed at what they see out here in the garden. So everybody, I think the sunflower is everybody's favorite. And you are so welcome, Fig Tree. It is my pleasure to share the garden with you all. The sprinkler and the lawnmower is our music. I hope everybody's morning is starting off real good and peaceful. And I hope the day ends the same way, good and peaceful. Yesterday I came out here for the first time. And if you all don't mind when you come in, please hit the like button. Thank you. In the morning time, well, not in the morning time. What was I finna say? See that anytime I see people and I start to talk to them, it's like I forget about what I'm about to say. But good morning to y'all. Oh, yesterday was the first time that I come out here after being gone from the garden for a while. And when I walked out here, I didn't notice what I haven't done first. I still notice what I haven't done. But yesterday was the first time that I walked out here and I paid attention to everything that I love about the garden versus all of the things that I don't like about the garden, which is I tell my people over here. A lot of times we get up in the morning and the first thing we do is we go to that mirror and we look in that mirror and we find everything that's wrong with us. And if you start to pay attention to the things that you like about you instead of the things you deem is wrong with you as far as your outside, um, if you start to put more attention on the things you do like about them, you'll find out there's more things you like about yourself than the things that you don't. And so those are the things that I try and pay attention to in my real life and out here in the garden. Now, and once it's like when I'm talking to you all, it's like I'm talking to myself. And then, like, once I give it to you all, then I have to put it into action for myself, paying attention to those things. So I, I come out here with purpose because all the time I go and find out what's wrong, but I have a hard time paying attention to what's going right. So um, just to come out here and see all of this yellow, we doing something right out here. This like a if the sun ain't even shining, this is like a sunshine to come out here and see those sunflowers shining like that. Then we came out here. I don't know how many. We don't have no count on any tomatoes, but um, we definitely got a lot of them. We probably got about 100 tomatoes right now at this point, and some of the plants are dying out, and we just gonna replace them with seeds from the ones that are already growing. Um, I don't know how many watermelon we have over there. I think my nephew and them was trying to count them yesterday. Um, and I think we got to probably about 15. Um, and though I could come out and complain, we came and cut the okra yesterday. And if you let an okra get too big at a certain point, then it's like chewing on wood. So it ain't really nothing you can do with them except for use them for seeds. So y'all already seen my little okra seed jar. We won't have a shortage of okra for a while. And plus, on top of it, I continuously plant okra, and I probably will keep sticking okra into the ground up until hmm, September. I will keep putting okras down until like the first part of September. And sometimes I'll even drop some after then because sometimes you can plant okra here in Florida and they do very well during the winter time until it starts to get real, real cold. But yeah, they do pretty good. So I just continuously keep putting them down. Um, and these okra plants that I have here should be, I think, a lot taller than what they are because our last ones we had, they were like 14 feet tall. So I don't know what we gonna get this time, but um, the last time we were out here, our cucumbers had all died out. So we don't have any cucumbers, which I already suspected that. But I need to wait a little until vine borer season um, is over with, and then I'm gonna put some more cucumbers into the ground. I ain't gave up on them, but I'm just gonna wait a little while longer. And I'm trying to grow them on the inside, but I don't think I'm doing a good job. But anyways, I'm trying to grow in different ways. I ain't mastered growing on the inside with no grow lights and stuff like that yet. In a climate controlled place. Mm-mm. So, but I'm gonna keep on trying it. Look like this morning, looked like our potato done bit the dust. Two squash plants bit the dust. I ain't seen a peanut that ain't popped up above the ground yet. I haven't gotten a peanut to come above the ground yet. Not in, not from growing on the inside, but yeah. But this weekend was such a pleasure. You know how beautiful it is to have young folks sitting in front of you and you able to grab their attention with the conversation that you having. Um, and usually it's us, it's the kids telling us adults when we get together. Ma, y'all be saying y'all finna go, y'all we finna go, y'all. Um, get your things together. We finna go and say. Then y'all be talking for another hour. Then we were sitting in the car ready. Then as soon as we get out, y'all holler, y'all ready to go again. Then y'all be there talking for an hour. But yesterday it wasn't like that. Yesterday it's usually the kids trying to get us to go ahead and do what we gonna do or whatever. But yesterday the kids were sitting and paying attention yesterday. They were enjoying the conversations that we was having and like their ears was perked up, ready to learn what they can. But I think when my nephews came in the garden and just me talking to them about, you know, growing some things, they got excited when I started saying, hey, take some of that home. You can try that. Take this home. Try that. This, that, and the other. And they was like, their face was like lighting up and like, we can really grow that. Yeah, you can grow it and attach it to whatever it is that you're trying to get done in your life and watch how it is. And it was so funny to hear them to start to tell me about when you grow the lima bean plant in school. I bust out laughing. I was like, not the lima bean. I said I be talking to my subscribers all the time about the lima bean effect. It's something about going to school and doing that lima bean project. And when you plant that lima bean and that thing start growing over that cup with that long stem hanging out of it, I remember seeing all of my kids, all of them, except wait, these ones here, I done seen them grow some of everything, but I done seen each one of my kids, all 14 of them, have that effect of running with that plant that just came up and came over the side of that thing. I mean, it's like when you're a first time planter and you put that seed into the ground, you know, sometimes you put it in there and you thinking that it's gonna grow, but it's almost like when it takes those couple of days for it to break through the soil, it's like you kind of forget about you put it there. But ain't it amazing when you go back and look in that cup and that seed done popped up? It's like you kicking into second gear then. You see that plant, that thing pop through that soil. That is a representation of your breakthrough. And for you to nourish that plant and raise it up into where now it has a flower on it, it has a bloom on it, representing the growth that's on the inside of you. And then the next thing you see is the fruit of your labor. Well, let's just say you growing a tomato plant. It's gonna put that yellow flower out on there, and then you gonna see that tomato up under there. Now tell me if you saw a tomato growing on your plant that you on a tomato plant you ain't never planted or grown in your life before, and you see a tomato on there, that's a whole nother level of excitement if you ain't never done it before. And so with doing that, that thing kicks it into high gear of I can actually do this. And before you know it, you're encouraging yourself. And then what you thought you couldn't do starts to turn into what we got going on right here. Because that's just how I started out. Let me see, can I do this? And let me see, can I do that? And then after I started saying it, then my kids was like, they saw me doing it. And they was like, hey, Ma, I saved the seeds from this right here. They start to encourage me to try to grow the stuff from the grocery store. And as they start to encourage me to grow the stuff from the grocery store, this is also a sunflower right here behind me, but it's in the middle of the carrot bed. But this is one that I say is these are the randoms that squirrels dig them up or they go into my chicken pen and get they sunflower seeds from out of there, and they go and plant them somewhere thinking that the seed is gonna be there when they come back, um, looking for their food, and actually what they did is they done planted a plant for me. Thank you, squirrels. I just like you to leave my peanuts alone because I don't want my peanuts spread out everywhere. But yeah. Um, but the excitement of seeing something grow and my kids encouraging me, it's like, see, can you grow this, mom? See, can you grow this? And doing what they say do is why we have strawberries, why we have apple trees, peach trees, um, mango trees, pomegranate trees, and we got so many other citrus trees and stuff like that. But um, we don't necessarily know what they are because if you plant a seed from out of an orange or a grapefruit or a lemon, you can get any of those. You don't know what you're gonna get because they don't play it around with them so much. So a box of chocolate, you never know what you're gonna get. So but yeah, plant you something and watch it grow and watch yourself grow right along with it. Right along with it. A representation of peace for me. Even though we done had a couple of run-ins with the snakes out here, and that doesn't mean that you have to have that same experience. But I can tell you, I can come out in the yard 365 days out of the year, and every year I have less than 30 sightings. That may sound like that's still a lot, and to me it is too. But when you think about it, it's another situation of my good days outweigh my bad days. Uh, and when I get to that point where I'm no longer that scared of a snake that I have to run from them, then those 335 days will then turn into 365 and all my days will be good. Won't that be amazing to have a whole year with not one single thing to go left? I can even see over there. It's like and I just feel like today is one of those days. Just come out here and just take in the beauty that's in the garden. And I told y'all when I come out here, I can hear my plants talking to me. Mom, Mom, feed me, Seymour. They start singing when I be ignoring them for too long. I see this one plant over here, and it got a cluster of tomatoes on it. It must got probably got about 6 or 8 tomatoes on it, and it's screaming. Mom, if you don't get me a stick and get me up off of this ground, I am getting dirty. But this is the same thing that happens to us in real life is that the outside noise come in and distract you from what you know you should be doing on that day. You felt it on the inside of you when you woke up that morning that this is supposed to be a day to just come in and take it in. And sometimes the extra noise that you hear on the inside of your mind will pull you from out of what you actually supposed to be doing for the day. And then you let the extra noise take over. So I know everything that um my plants need, the ones on the outside, not the ones that's growing on the inside, because I don't know what I'm doing there yet. I gotta learn some more. Um, but out here, I pretty much know everything that they need. But I'm also learning to pay attention to what it is that I need, which is, you know, a part of growing. I'm fixing a flyer, getting dressed for my survival run. LOL. Shout out to Shalissa. Yeah, got me back out here. Thank you everyone for hitting that thumbs up button. I know that's right. Good morning, Nisi. um, I'm just listening while moving about. I know that's right. I think in the morning I've been doing a lot of getting up and getting out in the morning times, and stuff is just real busy right now. It always seemed like at the end, towards the end of the school year or whatever, like so many, like things get busier. It's like you're supposed to be coming to a halt or whatever, and it's like you steady be finding a whole bunch of things that you need to get. But good morning, brown eyes. uh, let me see. So I'll be trying to do some things where I don't be putting my big finger in front of the in front of the screen. You know, it be you got this a learning curve when you dealing with this YouTube thing, cause each way you deal with it, there's different things that you can do. But I see you, brown eyes. Yes, it is so peaceful out here this morning. Loving the yellow flowers in the background. Yeah, brown eyes, they're my sunflowers. That I had to throw them together, and it's like I said, even after I finish, when well before these ones right here completely start to die out, then I'm gonna plant some more because I can't even see myself without having them down anymore and up in the front. All of my all of my beds up there look toe up from the floor up, but I'm not moving anything because all of my lettuce has bolted. So y'all know what that means. Once the lettuce bolt, then it got the seeds up to the top of it. And so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna let the seeds do what they do and let them drop as many lettuce seeds up there in that bed that they want to. And later on, um, I'm just gonna redo that garden bed up there, and I'm gonna resurface the top of the soil and everything. And by the time it start to cool off and everything again, lettuce and stuff will be popping back up there. And I guess that's just gonna be the lettuce bed. But I know they won't be popping up no time soon because it's too hot for lettuce. But over here, like back on that side, like where Oreo them is, y'all know who Oreo is. Oreo them is the pigs. So brown eyes, I see you. I'm on it ain't letting me hit the button on here, but I'm gonna get it done now. I can see it in here. So, but over on the side where the pigs are, Oreo is the pig for the ones that don't know the hog. I'm gonna put over in the cool shaded area. I'm gonna plant some more lettuce there because the more heat that your lettuce have on it, it'll just keep on bolting. So you won't really get lettuce from out of there. You'll kind of get like this bitter kind of lettuce. But if you growing your lettuce on the inside in the window or something like that, you good to go. Which I can do that, but the way my crew set up here is when we do salad or something like that, we need we need about 3 heads of lettuce whenever we do salad over here. So you know, I need to put some down in the ground. And I actually, not that I had to. Yesterday was the first time I bought lettuce from the store. Only because I didn't want to try mine out to see if it was bitter or not. We kind of just take the leaves off of them at this point and feed them to the chickens. But yesterday was the first time I bought lettuce in a very long time. So did I start planting late? No. What area are you in, Nisi? Only if you want to say it, cause um I'm here in Florida, and in Florida it's just hot. We don't never really have no winter. We don't never really have a winter like that. Like even in the middle of winter, you can still have summertime. So I don't have anything but green plants. You and Miss Coffee has actually produced vegetables. Well, Lisa, let me tell you like this. See, I'm one of them anxious gardeners, right? And I'm gonna tell you what that means. And I'm trying to get out of that. It could mean that I'm so anxious and I'm so ready for the season to come in that I be doing stuff way ahead of time that I shouldn't be doing, which is when I did it. I planted over 70, I think 75 okra seeds that we did together. And every last one of them died because you can't keep an okra plant in a pot for too long because you'll stunt the growth of it or whatever. So I do a lot of what you call anxious gardening. And then I be like scared is we gonna get a cold front or something like that. So I wouldn't necessarily say, Nisi, that you late at all because right now at this time of the year, you can put any seeds in the ground. The only thing is with lettuce, you have to make sure you have it in like a cool shaded place. It doesn't like a lot of direct sunlight like that because it'll just bolt and get seeds on it. So no, you're not late. You just over here with an anxious gardener herself, just be out there throwing all kinds of stuff out there. It's just like a certain part of the year. It's like I get anxious to see stuff growing like that everywhere. Butter lettuce is some really good lettuce as well. Yes, that's what I had. That's what I had this year. Brown eyes. I had the butter lettuce. I had the arugula, a whole bunch of. Oh, so you in the south? Well, I'm south. I'm in Florida, so I just be wanting to get stuff down in the ground. But let me tell you something, Lisa. The way these seasons and the climate going and all of that stuff, tried a whole bunch of different kinds of seasons and put stuff down, even though they say that it don't be growing. That's how I learn, cause stuff that I think ain't gonna grow out here, I'm gonna put some. Especially when people give me seeds and stuff, a lot of stuff. I told y'all people bought me trees and all of that stuff like that. I don't really know how to take care of those things, but they wanted to give them to me to see what I can do with them. And if I can do something with them, all they want is like air layers off of the trees and everything. But I'm like, are you gonna be mad if anything happened to the trees and stuff? I don't be knowing what I'm doing, but I'm willing to try. So if you think like this look like a good season, and I totally be ignoring what it says on those packages. Sometimes I told y'all I'm like an anxious gardener. If I'm looking through my seeds in the middle of winter and I see something, I'll be looking at my husband. What you think about these right here? If I tried to throw these down in the ground right here, so I be trying to grow stuff all time of the year, and I feel like if it's gonna work, it's gonna work. And let me tell y'all something. I know I showed y'all maybe a lot of the people are in here that I've shown before that um I had a little mango tree up there that I'm taller than the mango tree, and I'm 5'4", right? The mango tree was covered in blooms. And we were looking at it like, how in the world is this mango tree gonna make it with all of these mangoes hanging on it? It's gonna break the tree. Well, after it finished doing what it was gonna do, it didn't hold not one bloom on it. Every last bloom fell off of it. Right? My husband said, "Okay, then I guess next year it's gonna do its thing." Well, about 2 weeks ago, we came back out the house, and that same tree that dropped all of the blooms off of it has now bloomed again, and it's back full of again with more blooms on that same mango tree. So that's why I say I'm starting to see things happen in the garden that I have never seen before. I never know the mango tree to bloom 2 times in a year. That's the second time we've seen it happen. The big mango tree up in the front. It bloomed one year and a cold front came through and it was like in the 30s. And a lot of the mangoes fell off because it just simply froze them. It burnt them. Um, and in about 2 or 3 weeks after that, it was just like somebody had pruned the tree, and the next thing you know, it was blooming again. So it was the tree had fruit on it, and it was blooming at the same time. Now the same thing is happening with the lemon trees, and that's why I say because of the climate is changing so much and everything. Sometimes you just have to try stuff and see, you know, what it does. Now, certain things just won't grow when, like, the temperatures are not that warm, and that's what I think is happening with the things that I'm trying to grow on the inside, like the squash and zucchini and stuff like that. I'm not really getting um, a good thing going with them because I think the temperatures in the soil are not warm enough for the plant to absorb the nutrients from the plant. So they just like all dying. Now, do I know that for sure? No, I don't know that for sure, but that's what I'm thinking is happening because a squash and zucchini does not. Now, I done tried that already. And you want to know, Ashlana, when the temperatures ain't warm enough outside, a squash and zucchini, it won't grow. I tried it too many times. Now I can get a squash and the zucchini to grow outside, but the squash vine borers be fighting with me. And see, I don't got time to be fighting no people that I can't win against. I told y'all, I don't be playing with them bugs and worms and all that kind of stuff right there. So they already done beat me down one time this season. You know, they got us. They took all our zucchini and squash out one swipe, right? So now we trying to grow them on the inside. I don't think that's gonna work. But what I think I should do is restart them again on the inside, only to give them a good start. And so by the time the squash vine borer season is over with, I can bring them bad babies on outside and plant them in the ground. And maybe that'll work. But other than that, so far this season we only got one squash. And that's it. They even ate the cucumber plants up, so I don't know. Is it true that boric acid helps the mangoes sprout? I don't know. I ain't never tried that before, brown eyes. Because I don't be playing around with none of that. I don't be playing around with none of that stuff like that. I tell you, everything that I do over here, I just go and get me a good old scoop of chicken poop from out of the the what's on the ground inside of my chicken pens or whatever, and then I spread that around the bottom of my trees and everything, and that's the only thing that I fertilize my trees with. That's it. we put mulch around them and things like that. Like we got rings around the bottom of the trees or whatever, and then we fill them up with mulch, like to kind of keep the weeds and the grass and that type of stuff back away from them or whatever. But it might work. It's just that I don't know. I don't know. I've never tried any of that before. Oh, and every now and then, like we'll have like a fruit and vegetable fertilizer, like what we have. I have a little bit of it right now, but my main source of fertilization is chicken poop. Chicken poop. I use that on everything. Like that hot sauce. I put that on everything. So, yeah, but that's what that's all I normally fertilize with. And so far, it's been good. See, but what don't like there's different things that you can do to squash and zucchini too to excuse me, y'all. To get rid of y'all this morning. We had to be to the doctor's office at 6 o'clock this morning. So I've been up since 5 o'clock this morning and went to bed about 1 o'clock this morning. So the day is never done. But now what else? What else I was gonna say? I don't forgot already. That yarn throw me off this then. Um, but yeah, I don't know. I don't know about any of those other things, but I do know now. Brown eyes that like if it came to it and like it was something that you was trying to try and put on there. Um, Look it up on YouTube. My husband always tell me, if you're gonna do something, go and look up the information. He say watch like 2 or 3 videos. If it's something you don't know how to do, look up 2 or 3 videos and then come up with your own idea from the 3 videos that you just watched. And you'll be somewhere in the middle and you'll kind of get it right. So I remember one time he told me to do that. He told me to do that because I was looking for ways to fertilize without buying fertilizer. And this during the time where I just wasn't even thinking at all because I already had chickens at the time, but I was still looking for fertilizer. I like, what other way? But I ain't asked my husband at this time. I'm just trying to figure it out my own self. Um, because then I started watching stuff about being more self sufficient, people making their own fertilizer and everything like that. And then the way I seen them make the fertilizer is they was just like cutting. They collect they random grass, get put a bag on their lawnmower to catch the grass, and then they was dumping it inside of buckets and putting water on it and let it go that way. Okay, I did it that way before. You talking about some stink? It is very very stink. Any fertilizer that you try to make, it stink. So um, I said I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that no more. We got too many cats around here to be trying to do the whole cat, the whole fish emotion thing. Cause um, I already know the cat's gonna come out here and dig up the whole garden trying to find the fish. So, and we don't do that. I don't turn every and then I went and bought some blood meal. Ooh, child, you talking about stank? Ooh, that's worse than being pregnant for 3 years straight, smelling blood meal. Ooh, I can't stand it. Oh, Jesus Christ, just the thought of just thinking about the way that stuff smells is. Mm-mm. And y'all, those of y'all who don't know what blood meal is just what I said it is: blood from a blood meal. It's nasty. But anyways, after going through all of that traumatic stuff, no, that's not really that traumatic, but ugh, whew, I was like, girl, you got a whole chicken pen over there, and all that stuff, them chickens kicking out over there, is like fertilizer gold. So, you know, I had to learn, by just thinking about what I got here. And so, and anybody knows you got some chickens, they put out some of the best. Hey, Korean. uh, I'm a green bean today, and absolutely that means I'm strong because I sure don't like it. I don't eat green beans. I cook them, but I don't eat them. So I'll accept that I'm a green bean for the day. Chicken poo. Hey, you know I'm a chicken poo. Absolutely. How you doing this morning, Korea? Um, but yeah, the my chicken poop is the best thing ever. I fertilize with it, and but if you don't know what you doing, let me tell you something. I don't know what I'm doing either, and I done burnt up a couple of things with the chicken poop. But see, I kind of get mine like in a dusted form, dry from off of the ground, and I just like dust around the bottom. I know 3 more days of school. What you gonna do? You gonna have an empty nest, just like Shalissa. The kids came out the woodworks with giving her gifts and stuff. But I kind of like using it in like a dusting like type form, and throw it down on the ground, and then that way when the next time the water sprinklers or whatever go off or whatever, it is slow releasing it into the ground or whatever. So you know you see the sunflowers are happy and green, and if they wasn't being if the fertilizer wasn't working for them, they'll almost turn like a yellow color. Like you see that yellow down there on that. That's a black eyed pea plant, but it's like I guess that one dying out. I probably grabbed onto it with the weed eater. I meant not the weed eater, child. Um, I did the rolls with getting the weeds from out of there where the snakes was hiding it with the tiller. So when I went through with the tiller, some of the black eyed peas, I was grabbing onto them and pulling them a little bit out of the ground. I don't know what that one's yellow for, but black eyed peas you don't put fertilizer on black eyed peas. So I don't know why it's yellow and it's just dying out or whatever. Well, I can't make me around her putting down fertilizer in these folks. Ooh, no. I can't. There are so many things though, Nisi. If you're in an apartment, I would say to you, cause see, being that I got all of this stuff out here that I'm doing right. I would do a 5 gallon bucket. If I'm gonna do the grass remedy, I'm gonna do a 5 gallon bucket. Um, because I got so much stuff to be fertilized, right? But if you're on the inside, there are so many things that you can use that you don't have to have anything that stink. And on top of it, if you're gonna do it, because you only need to fertilize what I try and do it like every other week, and sometimes I only end up doing it once a month. Sometimes I let my plants start talking to me, but as you look around out here, I haven't fertilized out here. It's probably been almost a month, but there's nothing you can really look at and say that it's yellow, because when your plants start to lack nitrogen, and I have a lot of things that are nitrogen. They love nitrogen. All of this stuff over here, it's only the black eyed peas that don't get nitrogen put to them. But these sunflowers, all these sunflowers, the broccoli that's over there, all of that stuff is heavy eaters of nitrogen. So I haven't put any out here in about a month. That last time y'all seen me over there cleaning out in that area was before the snake situation. So it's been about a month since I fertilized out here, and everything is still really green. When it needs nitrogen, it'll start yellowing. So far so good, but I don't want to wait for them to start screaming. It just ain't gonna be today, but they'll get their dose of I mean everything I have out here. But Nisi, you can make it on a much smaller level. Make it by the little bottle so you don't have to take the top off of it or whatever. Make little bottles, and then put your little sprayer in it or whatever. So You can make little ones and get away with not making a whole big old thing of stank to get rid of it. And two, another way you can do it is if you get blood meal or something like that, you can take it outside and you can mix it in your soil instead of making ooh, you definitely don't want to wet it up. Cause that's what I used to do. I used to put it in a little sprayer thing and then let the water flow through it and spray it out. Oh my god! Let me tell you something. Blood meal works very, very well, but I don't like it. It's just the scent of it is horrible. Um, yes, I got me a gift today. Yeah, ain't that so? That's so sweet, Korea. Yes. But what Shalissa said, them kids be tearing your nerve up all year, but you sure hate to see them go. But y'all parents, come get your kids. Get your kids. In your turn. So they and then at the end of the year they be so it'd be so sweet for them to come to you and give you all the stuff after you done fussed at them all year long about staying in their seats and all of that good old stuff. I think it'd be like that with every job. You know, it has its rewarding days and then it have its days when you're like, child, please. Somebody better come get me from these kids. It don't even be no joke. These kids done tore my nerve up. I know it done been plenty of days. My sister done been like, I'm finna bring this bus back to the compound with all y'all kids, all the kids on there. I ain't taking none of them to school. Bring them right to the bus compound to you. I like, sis, don't do it. Don't do it, girl. Just take you some deep breaths. Take you some deep breaths, girl, and go back in. Try. It be like that though in real life. It don't gotta be them kids on that bus. It can be your kids. You get to one of those moments. I'm gonna leave all y'all right here. Oh my god! And there's so many things that it's so many things going on in this world that like part of me want to touch it, and the other part of it I don't want to have. I don't want to have no parts of it. Like this whole Diddy situation and stuff that's going on. That junk is ridiculous. And boy, look at here. Child, when I seen him, I'm gonna touch the Diddy situation. When I seen him make that apology, I just bust out laughing. I say this, I ain't gonna tell y'all the truth about what I really said. I'm gonna just tell y'all close to what I said because I'm trying to work on, you know, cussing sometimes because that's sometimes my way of releasing. And when I'm mad about something, some words come out that I be trying to stay away from, but sometimes the cuss words that I say is taking up for keeping my hands to myself. So if that's what I gotta do, then y'all forgive me for it and let me work through my issues. I'm doing the deck garden at this point. I'm just hoping the hot peppers grow, if nothing else. All right, then it's gonna work for you. Everything that you put out there is gonna grow. You don't need no whole lot of it. And there's other things too, Nisi. But I'm just saying, if you want the free, girl, get you some grass and put it in like a little something like the size of a little pickle jar. Like if you put pickles on a burger or something like that, or a sandwich or something, get you a little jar, put you some grass, go out there and grab you up some grass and put you some water in there with it and just let it sit there for a little while. All you gotta do is take the top off of there every now and then and hit your plant a little bit with it. Cause even that right there works, but it will also, if you leave it too strong, it will burn your plant. But Nisi, there's a lot of videos that's here. I'm just trying to tell you about the things that's free. Keep your money to you. Hey, BBW, Latina J vlogs. Okay, good morning to you. I'm just trying to tell you about some of the things that are free because um you don't have to go and don't be like me going to the store and in the beginning going to the store, buy everything, just buying stuff um, from the store instead of until my husband was like, when I started to get up and say, he said, "Where you going today?" As soon as I say Home Depot, he'd be like, "What you going to get?" Um, and then I start naming the stuff that I get, and then one day he said, "Why don't you start to utilize the stuff that you have in the yard instead of going to buy more stuff?" And I was like, "Yeah," but then I still figure out, well, I still need this, and this, and this. So I figure out until after I started I started it started to click into me. It's like you're creating a garden to get to start to make your own vegetables and everything and save money by growing your own vegetables. So why not start to try and do that in other areas in your life? You see, gardening promotes growth in a whole bunch of different kinds of ways. So, you know, just like that. So why not if you can get it for free? Because these bad, if you can come out and pull some grass out of the ground and stick it in some water and let it sit for a week or two, to create your own fertilizer versus you going to the store and spending $15-$20 on this stuff that is helping to destroy our earth. Do it for the free. Do it for the free and say, and then if you feel like you need to spend some money, take that grass and that water you just made together and then go and put you $15-$20 in the bank account, because in your savings account, because the grass that you just pulled up, that the good Lord gives to us freely, that grows out of this beautiful earth, you can pick it up and just rip it out of the ground and put it in a jar and pour some water on top of it and make your own fertilizer. And now you done saved by $20. So put your $20 in your savings account. Okay. So good morning, M Jones Lifestyle. Hello, love your channel. I bought a rabbit so I can have fertilizer year round. Let me tell you something. M Jones said something absolutely mad. I had never ever used rabbit poop before, but my son got a rabbit. And one day he came out the door and he was like, "I'm finna clean out my rabbit cage. What do you want me to do with the poop?" And I'm looking at him like, "What the hell you asking me that for? Like, what you don't throw the shit in the guy?" Oops. Okay, y'all, I'm sorry. But like I said to him, "Throw the shit in the garbage." My son say to me, he say, but they say this is good fertilizer. I go and look it up. And absolutely, rabbit poop is a good source of fertilizer. And it's not hot. It does not burn your plants up like any other the fertilizers that I talked about. Like I said, the grass can burn your fertilizer if you don't dilute it enough. But it's free. You just have to learn how to use it. But rabbit poop, chicken poop, any of those things that you have, it works fabulous. Now I can tell y'all what I use that rabbit poop on. Y'all seen my lettuce up there growing before. If you want your lettuce to look like that, that is absolutely what I did. So M Jones is absolutely correct. Rabbit poop works fabulous. We use our coffee grounds. BBW, I've used the coffee grounds before too, and I used it in one part of the lettuce and it absolutely does work good. So there's so many free things that you can use to fertilize your plants. You know, sometimes I have people that be coming. I know y'all be laughing when I say cuss words or whatever, and usually I say them when I'm mad about something. But every now and then, when I'm telling a story, I just like to be honest about what I be saying. I don't want to put around the bush because sometimes people can be taking my like and I'm not a soft spoken person. I just talk soft when I be out here in the garden or whatever. And in certain situations, I am a soft spoken person, but sometimes I throw people off when I say a cuss word or whatever. I am human. So sometimes I get people that come in here that say things like, I thank you for being able to give that message or to talk about that without cussing. Honey, I don't ever want to give nobody an illusion over here that a cuss word may not fly out after a while. So if one do come out, you pray for me and hope God deliver me from those cuss words. But until then, I'm gonna be human and I'm gonna work on it. We gonna grow. We gonna grow in the garden with that one. So I hopefully I don't offend anybody when I do say them, but every now and then one of them fly, and I'll be like, oops. But yeah, there are so many things that you can do in the garden. The first thing y'all turn to, cause see, I'm the type of person that'll tell you that if I'm getting ready to, I'm cleaning out my cabinets, and I got some old bowls or something that I think I don't want to get this to nobody. Just throw this in the garbage or whatever. Now I be more like, I ain't throwing that in the garbage. I'm gonna plant so I'm gonna plant something in that. So I'll be trying to utilize everything. So whatever works for you, there are some things that I want to do. I had cattle panel that's here that's laying around and we weren't doing anything with it. And I'm like thinking to myself, what other ways can I make my garden beds and stuff like that? Because I don't want everything that I'm working on. I'm trying to bring it up high, like my garden beds and stuff like that. Like up there, I got pineapple beds and stuff like that with that type of stuff in it or whatever that I made out of boxes or whatever, but I want to bring them up high because my back is like whack. That's what I be saying. I be trying not to, talk about her too bad because she belonged to me. You understand what I'm saying? My back belongs to me. um, but I just have to admit that my back is not in the best of shape that it used to be. And gardening is a thing that I love. So I'm trying to make gardening work for me. I also want to encourage people. No matter what you see me doing out here, some days before I got out here, I'm crying because I've gotten up out of the bed and gotten ready to try and move my feet. And my feet does not even move. That my back done been in that kind of pain. But I love growing in the garden. I love doing things in the garden. So I try and do things that work for me. Even if I got to come out here and sit on a chair to do all the work that I do, I learn how to get that chair and move it from place to place to show you that if it's something you really want to do, you'll figure out a way to make it work for you. It may not look none of the ways that anybody else does it, and that's why you are who you are. It should not look like what everybody else is doing. It should look like you. Cause you fabulous all on your own. You don't have to do what everybody else do. None of your stuff. And if it's something that make you happy when you go out there and look at it, then that's all you need to worry about. And as long as you growing something in your garden, that's all that matters. That's all that matters. Even I had to bring myself down that I be wanting stuff to look pretty, but I come from a place of trying to make everything be perfect when we don't. This it's not a perfect life. So I also have to wrap my mind around that, and so that's why I don't any longer pay attention to the things. It's the first thing that wants to jump in my mind when I walk out here. Oh my God, I don't like the way this look. I don't like the way this look. Instead, I choose to focus on what I see right here, and that right there, ain't nobody can tell me in the world that just that yellow alone. What does the color yellow represent? Somebody tell me what does color yellow because for me, when I look at this yellow right here, this represents like a piece, like a this color yellow on this sunflower represents like a piece for me. So I don't know what the yellow means. I've seen like yellow. I know like roses and stuff have like they all mean like different things, whatever the colors are or whatever. But the the sunflowers be giving me life when when they come through. um yeah, self-sufficient becomes okay. Then that's what it really mean, BBW. Is it really mean happiness? Or you just say, well, over here, then we'll take it. We'll say, even though if it don't, yeah, yellow right there, I'll take it. Happiness. Like when I see a sunflower, I mean, it's like it's so pretty to sit there and look at it, and it's just like the bees be in there. Yeah, okay then. There's Nisi then over here then. So what if somebody come through and be like, that is not what that means. What we gonna say? Well, over here. Okay then. She say she Googled. Well, we'll be like, that is not what that means. Well, over here, cause remember we different. We different. Yeah, we different. Over here, yellow means happiness. So and peace. Peace and happiness. That's what we gonna say. That's what yellow mean over there. Peace and happiness. So he come out here, and then as all of a sudden, then like the sun is coming over the top of the trees to pour out some sun, and it actually feel good out here this morning to to be out here and just suck it all in. And it's so quiet out here this morning. First thing I walked out here this morning, my neighbor saw her dog had got over here in our yard. So she was out here yelling at her dog. And I was like, what is she yelling at the dog for? Because he do got a place back here where he can get over to our yard. But he's so pretty. He is so pretty too. He is dang, I forgot what kind of dog he is, but a golden retriever. That's what he is. He a big golden retriever, and he's so pretty. And usually he can't. It's an area that he can come through, but he usually just sit there right at the gate, and he sit on the gate and just watch over here. So I'm like, who? Why is she yelling at him this morning? And I walked around there because I was moving the water sprinkler, and what she heard was the tripod that the water sprinkler sit on. She heard it like clinking together, so she yelling at the dog, "Get over here! Get over here out of here!" And she standing there, she yelling for the dog, and I can actually see the dog standing right. He's sitting right there, and he just like kind of looking, but he's behind the shed, so she can't see him. And when she came around the corner, she say, "Oh, girl, you got me over here yelling at my dog, and that's you over there walking through the garden." I was like, "Yep, he ain't over here bothering with nothing. It's me." She said, "He done scared me. I don't want him over there tearing up nothing." Say they already be tearing up everything I grow. But y'all, let me tell you something. It is so encouraging to know that all right, yes, yellow. um it is such a blessing to me that if you can only listen to the words that I'm saying when it comes down to planting something, I truly believe everything that I'm saying to you. Why do I believe it? Because I have tried it, I have done it several times. If you want to grow in your life, if you want to do something, let's just say that we're going to take this as an example because right now this is the example that's coming to my mind. Now, I don't know who this for. If you ready to get your own place, if you're somebody that's sitting in here and you want to get your own place, you living with somebody right now, right? And you may not want to do this because you don't want to invade on somebody else's space, but I know that somewhere, even if you're staying with some planting is life, planting is life. If Thank you very much. If you want to grow in a certain area in your life, but right now we're going to talk about an apartment, somebody wanting to move out on their own, um, get on their own stability, whatever you want to apply it to, but I'm going to talk about it in the sense of an apartment, right? If it's an apartment you want, right? You already know the first thing you got to do is have a thought of it, right? But sometimes it's hard to stay focused on the thought or what it is that you actually want at the very beginning of it. So, right. So, what if you take a seed? Let's say you had a salad for dinner last night, and in the bottom of the plate where I cut the tomatoes, that it had 10 seeds sitting in the bottom of it. Take those 10 seeds, rake them onto a napkin, let them dry there on the napkin. Go outside, dig you some dirt up, and put it in a little cup, like the representation of the cup, like when you're doing the lima bean project. Put you some dirt in there, stick that tomato seed down in there. Use just the tip of your finger to stick the hole in the dirt and put your tomato seed there and cover it back up. Put you a little bit of water on it. Sit it in a windowsill. If you got to go and sit it out on the porch on the side where it does not block, maybe you living with somebody who don't want you to do nothing at all. They just want you to be able to go there and lay your head down, whatever your situation may be. Put a seed into the ground and let that seed be a representation of your breakthrough. If you tie it to whatever it is that you want to, you'll be more prone to take care of that thing. And I'm telling you, when that seed pops above ground, see, that dirt is no longer dirt anymore. Do you know the amazement of seeing something that you put into the ground, that this little bitty tiny seed, and now it done came up? Honey, you be running down there, and the excitement that you feel on the inside of you, nobody don't understand the excitement of, I did that, I did it. Nobody doesn't understand that excitement. But that seed coming above ground is the breakthrough for you. Maybe it's the breakthrough of, I just put my first $100 in the bank that I'm sitting to the side to go towards getting my apartment. And every time something different happens with that plant, what if it's putting out a leaf here and then a leaf over here on the ground? And what if every one of those leaves that tomato plant keep putting out on is a representation? You just put another $100 in the bank. You just put another $100 in the bank, and before you know it, and it doesn't mean that bumps does not come along the way, because sometimes you plant seeds into the ground and they die off. But sometimes the plant is allowed to die off to see what you gonna do with it because it died. Is you just gonna give up on growing because that part of the dream done died? No, remember when I told you you had them seeds floating in the bottom of that thing, what you just cut that tomato on? I say you had maybe 10 seeds there. When you fail at that one plant, you start over, because sometimes we know things come up in our life where that money you done saved up, don't be mad because you got to get it and put it towards something. Thank God that you got it to be able to take care of that one thing. Now you go back again and you get you another seed and you put it into the ground. You have 10 of them. And it says a just man falls 7 times before we get it right. And it says also, if at first you don't succeed, dust yourself off and try again. You're going to put another seed into the ground. And I guarantee you, with each time you do it, you're going to get to another stage. And imagine you put that seed into the ground. And then after you put it into the ground, let me show you what happens after you put that seed into the ground and you start to get the fruit of your labor. And I'm you the one that I told you speaking to me right now this morning. You see that tomato? When you able to walk up to your plant after you done put a seed in the ground and you start to see, oh my God, I got fruit. The fruit of my labor. Baby, you talking about it done started something then. Look, I even got some that's dying down. But do you understand the beauty of coming out here and being able to see that color red that's laying down there, which means that my kids can come out here and grab them a tomato, whether it's laying on the ground or it's standing up, and they can pop it off of there and rinse it off because it ain't been sprayed with no pesticides or no none of that stuff. And they can rinse it off with plain old water and have them a little salt pepper shaker. You know, the ones you roll up with that foil paper. Make you a little salt and pepper shaker. and sprinkle you a little salt and pepper on there and just pop it right in your mouth. Imagine getting to that stage that you grown something. See, now you done sparked a whole nother thing. And guess what? After you do that part, you don't want to stop growing, which will eventually turn into what y'all see out here. Nothing but growth. See, I spoke it to my family a couple of, probably about a year or two ago. I said, I'm going to turn our whole yard into a garden because we wasn't doing none of this, just all this space, 2 acres with 2 acres with nothing back in the back. And I said, I'm going to make it to it. I didn't do a whole make it happen. It's just one day my husband pulled a tiller out and he said, clean that space out over there. Clean that space out over there. And after a while, y'all see that. You see our baby watermelon growing there. Got a whole bunch of them growing over here in this area. Some of them you can't really see, but they out here. That's what growing in the garden will do for you. So, you know, if you want to grow and it's something that you want to do, attach it to what you're doing out in the garden and grow along with your garden. And if that's what you're interested in, that's what we interested in over here. It's like whatever we trying to grow in our life, I take and attach what I'm doing in the garden with it. It speaks to my situation. It speaks to my life. It helped me grow. Um, and if it makes sense to you, then come on and grow with us. We love us some growth over here. That's what we about over here. And we don't always talk about the garden. This is life with Tashanna over here. This just happens to be the season that I'm Um, in my pesticide free food. Absolutely. So wow, Tashanna, you're not even using tomato cake. No, I don't have no tomato cages. I just we I also grow bamboo here in my yard. So that's another thing. My husband was like, I bought a bunch of steaks before. And my husband like, why are you spending money on steaks? I told you to pay attention to what you have in the yard. I say, well, what do we got out here that we can do it with? He's like, use the bamboo. I was like, oh, it's strong enough that you can knock it down into the ground or whatever. He was like, yep. He showed me how to cut it at a slant so that it will go down into the ground like a steak. Work like work like magic. And even after my husband hit me onto it, some of my neighbors roll by and see that I have bamboo in my yard. They ask, can they buy some from me or can they? And most of the time, I just tell them, yeah, come on, because it needs to be trimmed back because it will take over if you don't. So that's a good way of keeping it trimmed back. So a lot of the times I'd be like, just come and get them, come get some. We have plenty of it. So I don't use tomato cages. I just got these little. I have to show them to you one day, Nisi. But I have these little clips that I put a piece of string around those bamboo sticks, and then it has a clip that you can wind the string around, and I just clip it around the limb of the tomato, and it's about probably like that big around, and it holds the tomato up from getting on the ground. It's just those ones are right there are plants that I planted last, and they grew faster than I thought, and plus, I haven't been out here, not like I normally would. So I just ain't caught up with them yet, but I'm sure before the week is out, they'll be up off the ground and doing what they do. And those tomatoes may not even make it past today. The ones that I just showed you laying on the ground, because yesterday was the first time my children had fried green tomatoes and okra on yesterday. And so once that season kick in over here, is it that season don't shut down. I mean, I'm talking about they eat fried green tomatoes and okra on a daily basis once this part of the season kick in. So I'm not the one that really harvests this stuff. I kind of like grow it and then just let them know, okay, that stuff over there needs to be gone. The kids came out here and cleaned it out with the quickness. Between my kids, my sisters, and my nephew, yesterday, they came and cleared everything, picked all of the stuff. So those green tomatoes over there may not ever get a chance to. It's lucky that the ones are red over there. And now when my husband come out here in the day he always checking to see what is red over there. Because he loved to eat tomatoes like that. So as a little boy he used to walk through um because he grew up in Miami, but they used to have the tomato fields there. When he walked through the when he walked through the tomato fields and stuff to go home, it was easy just to walk by there and grab it. And he said he even thought about that back then in those days they used to fly the airplanes and stuff across and dust the crops and stuff. Used to have all kinds of stuff on it. He said, but he never got sick from messing with that type of stuff or whatever then. And I don't know what they was dusting the crops with and stuff back then, but I know it couldn't have been good for human consumption, I'm thinking to myself. But over here, yeah, we try if we use anything, and this is only when like things are really getting out of hand. The only thing we use is BT, and that's supposed to be something that's natural. And I don't trust none of this stuff where these people talking about it's natural, but it's just something like the worms supposed to when they eat it, it like it dissolves them. Kind of like if you shake salt on a slug or something, it's supposed to make them shrivel. Well, BT does it from the inside, and you just spray it, put it on the leaves of your plant, and so when they eat the leaves of the plant, then it goes on the inside and kind of do them like salt would if you sprinkle it on them or whatever. But when I'm telling you it have to be extreme that is happening. Other than that, I don't do it. If I see the worm on the leaf, I'd rather go and clip the leaf off of it and I clip the leaf where it go into a bucket because I'm not finna touch the leaf with the worm on it. Not at all. Now my kids, they pros at it. They'll go and break the leaf off right with their hand or whatever and hang on to it, and they are great nutrition for my chicken. And so we don't play around with bugs, snakes, and worms and all of that good stuff over here. We don't do that. Back in the days, my family and others didn't purchase tomato cages. Yeah, and just imagine if none of our parents and our ancestors and stuff didn't use any of that stuff today. Then I'm trying to get into the minds of like, what? Come on, ancestors, and speak to us and tell us how y'all did this thing back in the days, because I even got tomato cages and stuff, but since I've been doing the bamboo sticks and everything, I don't even do that. I done came out here before and the tomato cage was laying off to the side, what supposed to be holding up the plant or whatever. What I find better tomato cages work with is a bell pepper plant. But I'm not gonna even use them for my bell peppers this year. I'm just gonna stake my bell pepper plant up the same way I do my tomato plants. And see, one of those sticks, I could just keep adding string going up to the top of it, and just I could take the clip from down to the bottom and put it up higher. So I can keep on switching it out. But the system I got going now is that I can reuse everything that I have. Probably the only thing that wear out like that will be the string that I use to tie it up. So, and I have my long spools of string in that way. So we using what we got. I have tried neem oil, but it's pricey. Yeah, anything I think now, um, M Jones, I did see somebody because you can make your own neem oil. I think it's better when you can see when you do it your own self. You can trust what you because you know what you put in it if you make it your own self. It's the stuff that you be getting from the store Cause every time you read on the back of it, I know it got some names on there. You don't even know how to pronounce that unless you went to school for that type of stuff. That's how I be feeling like, how this supposed to be regular old stuff? I can't even say what the name of it is. And neem oil is supposed to be some along the line of, I ain't no professional, y'all, but I know it's supposed to be somewhere along the lines of like orange, the peelings off the oranges and lemon and things like that. So, but I'm just saying to you, anybody can make anything and tell you what it is. Just like I go in the store. You think I believe that stuff when they be saying over there, oh, this stuff over here organic and this is not? Child, how we know? Cause you do know they be lying to us. Y'all do know that. I hope y'all all know that they be lying to us. They can tell us anything that they doing, and if you can't see no proof of it your own self, then you have to take them at their word. But I've seen investigations done before right here in Orlando, where I am at the farmers market. These people are actually ordering from wholesale companies, and then they're going to the farmers market pretending like they grow this stuff in their own yards and everything. And these people paying all these extra high prices and everything for them. Look them up. Look up the farmers market in your area and look up some of the investigations they done did. You're expecting to go be buying stuff that people grew without pesticides, and you getting the same shit what they have in the grocery store. That ain't that's regular smuggler. So go ahead and go to Walmart and grab your fruits and vegetables from them. If you believe in that, you going to the farmers market and getting stuff that people are actually growing in their yard. That's why I be like, unless you can go to somebody's garden and see it growing, and possibly pick it your own self, or it is a family member that you trust, don't trust nobody. That's what I'm saying. It's better if you're doing it yourself. So it's all these different things out there that you can do yourself. Like they said that you can use diatomaceous earth to keep vine borers off of your plants too. But what you can't allow to happen is you can't leave no periods between when it rains. Good morning, Callie. Good morning. You can't leave times between when it rains, you have to go and reapply it. So you have to be on top of it like that right there. And your girl ain't got time for it. So I just be saying, well, me and the worms, we just gonna share. We gonna share with what we got. Good morning, Callie. We just gonna share. Um Yep, your family tied them up with strings and sticks, and they were just as good, just as good. Do you have a fig tree? No, I don't have a fig tree here, but we used to have one where I just moved. Oh, and where we moved from before here, honey, we had the hookup deal. We had an avocado tree in that yard, and I ain't talking about no little avocado tree. I remember one year this avocado tree put out about 300 avocados, and they was like the nice size one. Child, the Spanish people used to love, 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 love us. Honey, they couldn't wait to see that blue suburban roll around, roll around with all them baskets and baskets of avocados in there. And then they was like, whole basket, whole basket. And I'm like, oh, you want to buy the whole basket? Honey, please, and you holler about only $25 for a whole basket of avocados. Them Spanish people was like, whole basket, whole basket. All right, then go ahead and take it. I didn't really know like the value in them because I don't eat avocados like that. My husband eat them, he love them. I don't eat them, so selling them is like I ain't even look for no price or no nothing, but sell a laundry basket for $25. Big avocados like this right here. So probably in each basket, you talking about 50 to 70 avocados in one basket. I had this one lady, she was like, two baskets, two baskets. She took the two baskets and took them in her house and dumped them in the kitchen sink. She said, we're going to clean them down now. And see, one thing that they do is when they get stuff like that, and then they know, and we ain't did anything to the tree because we just letting the tree do what the tree does on the outside. The avocado tree, we never, now, no. I won't say that we never did anything to it, because let me tell you what my husband did do. He drove nails into. Now I know y'all done heard of the older people say that you drive nails into those trees. You know, nails also provide nitrogen. The iron, the I think, well, it provide iron for the trees. I know that, but it's also like a source of vitamins to, you know, to your trees. So my husband drove some nails in it, and then one time he had a saw blade that it wasn't any good anymore. So he got the saw blade and then he ran it until it like got halfway into the tree, and then he disconnected it from the saw blade and left it sitting there and let it feed the tree back. I thought he was destroying the tree. He was like, no, it's not gonna destroy the tree. He said gonna heal up right around it, and then it's gonna suck all the iron and everything right from the iron or rot away into the tree. So there is so many things that you can do. Y'all get into free. Get into free. Whatever is going to do. Let me tell you what I'm looking into it, because we got so many trees and stuff out here that I am actually I've been looking at some wood chippers. A part of me a little scared about it, just because of what it is, but I think it will be beneficial to us because, like, during times like right now, I like to have piles and piles of mulch here on the property. But so far we haven't been able to run into any of it. I still got like a little pile of it right there, but I got sweet potatoes growing on the inside of that. And y'all know mulch too. You can use mulch and not have no dirt. Let me tell you, I get the twist the tops off the pineapple plants and just in a box with nothing but wood chips in it. You find one of those companies, they done chipped up a tree. They have to pay to go and dump that stuff at the garbage sites and stuff like that. So they be glad to stop by and drop that load of mulch into your yard. And right now we should have extremes amounts of it, but everybody is looking for mulch and stuff to do something in their yard or whatever. So I'm thinking that if I invest about $500-$600 into a chipper, then I can get my own whenever I want it. Um, and then possibly be able to use it for, some other things. So I don't know. We ain't quite decided yet if, we want to go there, but we definitely talking about that. So yeah. So I don't know. I'm just trying to think of, what happens when but trees grow. Trees go grow all the time over and over again. And what I'm talking about is just like we want to trim everything that's hanging super duper low. So like when we driving by these trees and stuff, don't scrape like the tops of. I got a 20-pound bag of mulch for $3 at Home Depot. Wow. 20-pound bag of mulch for and Miss Coffee too, be careful with the mulch that you get from there, because I think Homestead Heart them was it was either Homestead Heart or I just don't want to say the wrong one, but I think it was Homestead Heart that one time they was using like the wood chips and stuff like that. Pay attention to it, like if they make sure they're not treating that stuff, because some of it that they have, they treat it, and if you put it onto your plants, it can do more damage to your plants than it do help them. So always make sure if you're gonna get mulch and stuff, make sure you get something that they not treating, that it's you just getting what comes naturally. and should be like if you can find like certain places because they have dump stations that you're able to go to like these places if, and you look them up in this in the cities and stuff that you live in. And Miss Coffee, I think Miss Coffee, I think you are you in New York. I'm not sure. And if you don't want to tell where you at, then don't tell it. I'm just looking and observing and thinking that's what I see. Okay, I'm right then. I know for sure y'all got them because why? When y'all have them storms and stuff come through, they my husband them is the contractors that come through and clear all of y'all lines and everything, get your power back going. So I know for sure y'all have those stations. Look those places up. See for that same 20 pound, that same 20 pound bag, you could have took you like four of your 5 gallon buckets, and you could have just went on and scooped you some free mulch up into those buckets and went and did the same thing but got them for free. It would have been better to be able to put you could have put you them $3 you spent, put them in your gas tank instead of giving them to Home Depot for something else and go get you some for free. But they do have places like that. I know for sure. Just looking them up in your say where you can go and get free mulch. So then if you know where it's at for free, then you probably can just go by yourself one day and load your trunk up with some and keep you a couple of bags off to the side. Or whenever you might find it in an area where I frequent that area over there. Just let me put my buckets in the truck and and whenever I on days that I feel like let me stop through and scoop me up a little bit of mulch to take home and add to my collection without I'm just trying to give ideas about how you can do things for free, especially if it's beneficial for you. Sometimes you don't accept everything that's free either. But you know, you understand what I'm talking about. It's in my trunk with 40 pounds of soy too. Girl, that's me right there. Let me tell you something. This trailer right here that y'all be seeing in the background, honey child, I used to go to Home Depot and be like, my husband like, what you going to get today? Um, 60 bags of soy. What? Them people come out there with the they got a pallet loaded and then got to drive up and put the pallet inside of the thing. My husband say you are ridiculous. So from that point forward, he was like, what you going to Home Depot for? What you going to get? So yeah. And when you buy it like that, you talking about spending probably between $250 and $300 for a pallet of soil. But I did that like a year and a half ago when I started those when I did those garden beds around up there, and I haven't did that in a minute. So I'm strongly holding on to utilize what you got. And why I'm going to buy soil with all of this land out here when I can just put it in the ground. I love garden bed planting. I really do. But yeah, Miss Coffee, be careful with the stuff that you get from Home Depot. Make sure that it's not treated because it can do just as much damage to your plants and stuff if it got some stuff on it. That I just remember one of the gardeners that's on here on YouTube had some issues with their stuff was dying, and she figured out that it was the wood chips or the shavings or something like that. They be putting all kinds of stuff in this stuff. They had a whole thing one time. They stopped everybody chickens from laying eggs if your chickens was eating the stuff that they create in the garden, which is something that I don't. Another thing, I don't feed my chickens what they make in the stores and stuff. I feed my chickens what I know what it is. I can look at it and say, "Oh, that's a piece of corn." That stuff they be having in them bags be looking like mashed potatoes and oatmeal mashed up together with some liquid and then it sat out and dried in the sun somewhere. I don't know what that stuff is. So the chicken we have to eat and we have to eat the eggs that come out of the chicken. So no, we ain't doing that. I need to know what my chickens eat so then I know what I'm feeding to my family or whatever. So my chickens eat stuff that I can show to you all, and you can be like, "Oh, that's a sunflower seed, that's a corn, and this a." You might say the rolled oats is a piece of rice. It looked like rice with that haven't been taken out of a hole yet, but that's what our chickens eat. They eat mealworms, corn, sunflower seeds, and seashells. Very simple. And it is a little bit more pricier to feed them that way. But if you raising your own food because you want to know what's in your food, why would you go and feed the food that you know what's happening to them, but you go and feed them something you don't know what the hell is that? So, just making it make sense. We feed them things that we know what it is. And at one point, they started playing with the chicken feeding. When they, y'all know when them eggs had hit that all time high when y'all was paying $5 for where they was paying $5 for a half a dozen of eggs. Y'all remember that? And don't let them be called organic eggs. It was about $10, $15 for a half a dozen of eggs, 6 days. Okay, at that time, and the information is all here on YouTube. Hey, J Mac. Absolutely. Thank you for saying that, J Mac. You can also, when you cook eggs for your chickens in the morning, I said I feed them seashells, right? I do feed them seashells, but I also, whatever eggs that we use, we also crush those eggshells up and you can give them back to the chickens, which provides calcium for your chickens versus the eggs, which you can delete the egg, the seashells, and just give them back the eggs. So it's like a resource. But there was a time that I know y'all all can remember going to the grocery store and them eggs was hitting them all time highs and everything, right? Well, it was because you had a company, two companies that's working together to cause this situation to happen. I ain't gonna say no names because I don't want these folks coming after me. So this is all allegedly, but y'all listen to, listen to what I'm saying. Okay, so it was two companies that's working together. One decided not to put enough protein and stuff, the nutrients that your chickens need to produce eggs for you. We gonna knock their eggs down so that they don't have a choice but to come and buy the eggs from us. So all of a sudden there was this big scream, but then people who don't raise chickens, you wouldn't know to be looking into this, right? So then this big old thing started happening. Everybody's online talking about they chickens ain't producing no eggs. Why ain't our chickens producing eggs? Why ain't our chickens producing eggs? Then the people that was feeding their chickens the way we feed our chickens, we weren't having that issue, right? Now everybody started to figure out it's like why we ain't having no issues. Oh, because we ain't doing that. Then they went to go and do the research or whatever. They done lowered certain things in the thing, so we ain't producing no eggs. But on the meantime, why they done stopped everybody else chickens from laying eggs, they steady Land Lake. Oh, I said I wasn't gonna say that. I retract that statement. Okay, they start doing their thing, and of course, while the other people eggs out here weren't producing, they chickens weren't producing no eggs. Their eggs were steady going high, and they was still making that bank because people needed eggs, and they was willing to pay the price for it. In the meantime, while us folks that was feeding our chickens the things that we know what it is they eating, they was still dropping them eggs like it's hot. So in that aspect, I say it's a little bit more pricier, but mm, it's worth it to know what I'm actually feeding them. At a certain point, they were saying if you go in that place that start with the W, if you go in there with a magnet in your hand, I ain't saying that I know it's for real, but take your own magnet up in that store that start with the W. Y'all know what store I'm talking about. It's a couple of them that start with a W, but y'all know that big one that I be talking about. That super place. They say you can go in there with take your magnet in there. You can pick up a pack of chicken wings with the magnet. Honey child, that's the highest part of the chicken. That's the most expensive part of the chicken right there. So you don't know what these people doing, and I'm thinking to myself, what you got to do to the chicken to be able to pick him up with a magnet? We don't even know. But I don't get no meat from no grocery store. Now I have bought some from Aldi's. I will get some from Aldi's every now and then. A little sketchy too. I don't really trust any of them like that. But I usually go to the butcher. That's where I get all of my. meats and stuff from. And I told y'all when them people, them folks in that W store said to us one time, "Ooh, don't never buy your meat from out of here. This is the worst place to buy meat. That's what we get returned more than anything in this store is meat." I say, "Oh, the people that work here telling you that, honey child, you better take heed to what they said." So, yeah, just as you can go along and you can tweak things and turn them around, if you can find somebody who they got chickens growing in their yard and everything, let me tell you something. If you got an egg that you bought from the grocery store and you got somebody that live down the street from you that got eggs, you know they got chickens, so they might have eggs. Go out there and stand to their fence and ask them people, would you sell your chicken eggs? You know, they might not be a seller of eggs, but they don't mind selling you a chicken egg, a dozen of chicken eggs, whatever, not much. You probably pay $1 or two for them because they ain't really interested in selling them, but they'll, give them to you, right? You never know what you're going to get out of it. Just go and ask them, do you sell any eggs? And taste the egg that you get out of the store. I can say you can go to Walmart today and you can buy you a carton of eggs from out of there. The taste between the egg that a person raising a chicken and that egg at the grocery store, the taste is so different. It make you wonder what's wrong with that egg that came from Walmart. I'm telling you to put the two of them on the side of each other. Cook the egg that you got fresh from the person that's raising chickens down the street. Cook that one first and cook the other egg separately and put them side by side. Taste the one that you got from Walmart and then taste the one that you got from out of them folks' yard on the same day that you got them. And I'm telling you, you're going to want to know what is wrong with this egg that came from the store. What's wrong with it? And it's the same way whenever you grow stuff out in your yard, there is no comparison. A tomato. You can get a tomato from the grocery store and get the tomato that you got out here in your yard. They don't taste nothing alike. They taste totally different. It's something about the things that you do yourself. And I'm just telling you, I can go on and on about gardening all day long. I'm still just as excited about it as I was day one seeing the first thing that I grow. It's still funny to me seeing my kids in my head running home with that lima bean plant in their hand. Growing is absolutely amazing, and then especially if you take it and you connect it to your life, it can be an absolutely beautiful thing. Hey, day to day lifestyle. I like that day to day. Sometimes you gotta live just like that, day by day. Sometimes minute by minute and second by second. Gotta make it through the moment. Yes, the tomatoes are so much better. They have so much. Um, Something my husband gave to me last night. They fried some green tomatoes from out here, and when he gave it to me, I can never really say I've tasted a tomato that actually tastes sweet. I've heard other people say it before, but it was something. This tomato, when I ate it last night, I was like, "Ooh, it's kind of sweet." He said, "When you eat a sweet tomato, he said, you know it's right." I say, "Not, not in my book because I don't associate a tomato with sweet. I like a little salt and pepper on mine. Not we can leave the sweet alone, but it doesn't. It's not acidic as it is. It might be as acidic, but you can't taste all of that acid that you do in this stuff. I'm just telling y'all, I can explain it to you till I'm blue in the face. You ain't gonna never understand it, unless you want to come and sit in my garden with me and, do the taste test. One of these days, and I know there's a lot of things that you have to be careful of, but um, I really enjoy having somebody over to sit to the table and have talks in the garden and stuff. And this is something that Literally, I'm not gonna be a fool and just invite everybody here to my house, but I got some people in mind. I've already invited someone already, and I'm dead serious when it come down to that. I think me and her gonna have an absolute great time. I don't know when God gonna set it up for us, but that one gonna happen for real. She already know who she is, but we gonna have us a good old day, and y'all probably don't see us do nothing but kick our feet up in the chair and just sit here and run our mouth all day. But and we gonna have a cup of coffee with it. No, I'm just joking. uh, but I can sit here and talk all day until I'm blue in the face about the difference between what you're getting from the store and what you actually growing in your garden. And let me tell you something, even if you got to start this way, you already paying for your food from the store. Grow your food that you get from the store. You ain't got to go buy no separate seeds or no nothing. See what you can start off with, just the seeds that you got. All of my stuff started from me creating a dump garden. Go throw this over here and then let's see what it do. Try that dump garden turn into voila. Never stop growing from that point. So am I on here? You can call it so many different things, trying to manipulate people into growing, trying to encourage people into growing, or whatever. I'm begging you to grow. Begging you to grow. And I'm telling you, I can tell you in so many different ways how growing outside in the garden and attaching it to my life has changed in so many different ways. Do I got things that I still need to work on? Absolutely, I do. But I bet you one thing, every day when I get up and I walk out into the garden, I'm still growing every single day, even in all the areas that I ain't conquered quite yet. I'm still growing. And regardless of how many, listen, there's times when I come out and I'll be like, man, F that garden. I have those days. there's And I told you when I first came onto YouTube, there's things sometimes when things doesn't go my way, or if I'm going through something with somebody, when I get mad at them, I sabotage the things that I have going for myself. Now, if somebody doing something wrong to you, why would you sabotage what you have going for yourself? See, that's something I had to stop doing. I would let if, if it didn't, something happen out here in the garden that I didn't like or whatever, I got mad at my husband about something he did out here, whatever. I'd be like, F it. I just let the whole thing just go on and go away or whatever. No matter, anytime I catch that attitude, it's always on repeat in my mind why the reason that I made this garden out here. And you can be stuck in that place for a week or two. I'm just now coming back to you all and telling you all I've been away from this garden out here for a week. It don't mean that my garden stopped talking to me. My garden kept talking to me and kept talking to me. It took my sister to come here and do a visit with me, but we got back. I'm back out here in the garden. So, sometimes you'll give up on it, but your garden will keep on talking to you and pull you right on back in, back on into it. And trust me, in a week, and in that time when you've connected it to your life, your plants will be calling for you in a way that you didn't never even understand. It's just like having a baby. A baby can't speak words to you or whatever, but they got their way of crying and doing different things. When you know what they need, your garden speaks to you the same way. And if you stay gone too long, it's just like a child. You taking them to daycare. They cry when you get ready to leave, and they so happy when you come back to pick them up. Your garden is just that same way. But sometimes we also too have to trust God with the things that we going through. And when I leave my garden out here and I have those moments, the one thing I have learned to do is trust God to take care of my garden for me. So this week I haven't been out here, and God has allowed it to rain at least 4 times out this week. So my plants have not suffered because God knew what I was going through and He took care of everything while I was away. So at certain points, you will have to trust the process and know that you can walk away, and then you're going to come back out and you're going to go get right back to what you've already poured into and what's going to give back to you. So, um, every time you compare our garden experience to our lives, I'm like, I was a late bloomer. I guess something will, but by September, Nisi, it's going to grow. It is going to grow. You're gonna get your breakthrough, and you're gonna be so excited. Let me tell you something. I'm waiting on the day when you're gonna come through here, and you're gonna be hollering about something that came up. You probably won't even know what it is by then. But it was so funny that listen. I literally had this conversation with Miss Coffee last week. Miss Coffee was like, Shauna, I got this planet right here and it ain't coming up. So I'm just gonna take the dirt and I'm gonna dump it over here or something. I say, oh, I started laughing. I say, Miss Coffee, I say, you sound just like me. When it come down, child, I am very, very impatient. Like I put something down and it's like I get anxious. I be like, the junk ain't grown. So let me put something else there or whatever, right? I told Miss Coffee, I said, girl, you sound just like me when I used to plant stuff, and I said now my niece do the same thing. She put something down, and if it take longer than 2 weeks to come up, she be like, I'm gonna just dump auntie, I'm just dump this out and I'm gonna do something else here. Well, I say, Miss Coffee, I say, now watch when you dump this. I say, go ahead and do what you're gonna do. Go ahead and do what it is that you're gonna do. I say, cause see, when you go to plant that other seed in there, you're gonna get a whole bunch of breakthroughs at one time. I say, cause all of them gonna start coming out. I say, you gonna move that stuff from over there and plant something else in it, and you gonna think that other stuff ain't gonna come up. Child, just when you think you waiting for your other stuff to come up that you just planted in there, that's when all of that other stuff that you had planted in there before it start boom, boom, boom. Now Miss Coffee is like, girl, Shauna, I got all this stuff growing over here. I don't even know what it is. I say, Miss Coffee, girl, go ahead and take the picture. Let me see. Can I name that plant? I say, because I knew it was gonna happen, but I knew it was gonna happen because that's and in Miss Coffee, I can see the same process that I went through. I know what it's like to become a gardener. You just get so excited about it. And you live and you learn about what works for you and what does not work for you. And you keep it pushing. But I can't tell you how significant adding your garden to and okay, Nisi, when you say you was sometime according to what you what you talking about, being a late bloomer ain't actually that bad. A late bloomer, the problem is if you never bloom. So that's another way to look at it. It's better late than never. Child, some of those things when they be used to back in the days, what if you was in school and then they used to call you a late bloomer because you got a flat chest and stuff like that? And we used so back then you used to be so worried about being flat chested, and now you get all of these extra ones. Now you be like, can you take a little bit of these back? I want to be a late bloomer. I want to be a late bloomer now. So according to how you look at it, late blooming ain't such a bad thing. And when it come down to the garden, late blooming is better than not blooming at all. So Nisi, in my book, you still straight. It's like showing up to the cookout and ain't no macaroni and cheese on the table. And then after everybody done went through and find out ain't no macaroni and cheese up there on the table, and then somebody all of a sudden back up there and say, what you bought to the cookout? Oh, I bought 3-4 pans of macaroni and cheese. Everybody all of a sudden perk up. Hey, there's some good things you can get out of being a late bloomer. So, ain't nothing wrong with that. Come on over here and put it in the chat. We gonna tear it down every time. None of that stuff ain't gonna work for us over here. None of us. So we gonna turn the bad into the good over here. That's what we gonna do. But you all, we done been on here for 2 hours, and y'all know folks don't be wanting to come back on here and look at no video that's for 2 hours. Then they don't want to look in there and find all the little jewels and stuff on there. So I absolutely love and enjoy the people that come through and like want to conversate with me. I'm an easygoing person. As long as you don't come over here and be trolling and all of that stuff, because I cuss trolls out too over here in this in this thing. I be trying not to, but according to what they say, yeah, that just the good old hood me just be like jump out on them, sometimes. But Then I have to rein it back in. You know, my people be letting me know, don't give him no attention, Shauna. Don't give him no attention. I was like, oh, that's you take the girl out the hood, but you can't take the hood out the girl. Every now and then you put her in the right situation, it'll come back, rah! Let me quit crying. Yeah, but it has been a great morning, and I appreciate you all for coming out here in the garden with me this morning. I appreciate my sister and my nephews and everything coming through yesterday, making it all that much more significant to get back out here in the garden. This is Life with Tashanna over here, where they call me Shauna. We are called the high class gardeners. Why they call us the high class gardeners? We just make sure we grow stuff all year long, but the high class part comes along with we don't mess around with no bugs, no worms, and definitely no snakes. We don't mess around with none of that stuff. Um, we got other people that come through. Cassie, you say, girl, how you a gardener and you don't mess with bugs and worms? Honey, that's where I draw the line. That I said, y'all saw that. I say I grow food. The rest of it, let the husband come out here and take care of all of that type stuff. So, you know, if you're interested in being a high class gardener, and that also means we take what we're growing and we apply it to our life. We grow with whatever it is that we growing out here in the garden. And if you're interested in doing that kind of growing, and having the kind of conversations that we have over here, growing in life, then come over here and holler at your girl Shauna from time to time. She help you grow. She don't bite. Thanks, and that's true. Yes, I was flat. I was flat chested. Last to have my cycle, and I'm just looking at everybody garden on YouTube. Thank you for your encouragement. I'm trying to tell you. Let me tell you, give you another. Hey, Shay. Hey, yo, child, your little baby over here just growing and walking around. She think we her mama and stuff over here. So she is doing very, very good. She all big and healthy and everything. I, I did you get to see her yesterday, Shay? But Nisi, there's another story that I would say that can go with that. It's like you don't understand the beauty in or not to have the things that other people have until you recognize the beauty in it, right? When we was in kindergarten, they used to make us take naps. Now, how many of us remember that we didn't really want to lay down and take those naps? You got to be a little bit old, just a little bit old school. If you took naps in kindergarten, because the kids don't take naps no more in school like they used to. But when you was in kindergarten, you ain't want to lay down and take them naps. And then by the time you reached high school and middle school, you was like sitting off in the corner somewhere, sleep in that classroom, wishing you had them days of taking those naps. See, sometimes we be thinking that we late on getting stuff, and God actually be trying to spare you from some things. You don't have to have the same thing, and we don't understand how good it is to stand out and be so much different from other people until you understand. Until you actually understand what was happening. So Shay, Nisi, what you do is take that name, because see, in the beginning, to be called a late bloomer used to be something that was like, she ain't one of us, or no, none of that. But see, those things, what they take and they call you a late bloomer for, you take it and you turn it around into that thing that make you smile. Where it used to be that the word late bloomer could offend you and mean that you were behind on everybody. And it don't actually mean you were behind. You got your blessing when it was time for your blessing to come. And for you to be set apart from all of them meant that you were noticed more than anybody else. You were noticed more than anybody else, while all of them were proud to be a duplicate of each other. You were being set apart. So in that way, I'm saying just say your ugly words that people used to say to you back in the days, and Shauna, know how to take it and rip it to shreds. See, I make my sister. Somebody call her crazy. I done took that word crazy and turned it 500 different ways. When somebody called her crazy now, it used to be so offensive to her. I named her crazy. See, because all of these things right here, people had a name for it for me. And I learned to take those things and turn them around and actually show myself what was actually happening. So, Nisi, I hope I gave you something that you wear that name loud and proud, baby. I'm a late bloomer. And actually get into what that meant. Because some of us was early blooming and needed to be sitting down somewhere. So, okay, I think I gave you enough for today. So, it's not going to be a boss. Yes, I'm already a boss of a lot of stuff. I just don't know what all it is. Shay, yeah, I'm a boss. I'm a boss in my own right. Okay, child, no, now. See that, Lisa? Yeah, so you know now. Absolutely. Yeah, see, sometimes, those things that people used to call us back in the days, they don't mean the same thing that they used to. You can show up to one of your class reunions or something like that, and you can hear one of those people say one of those names that they used to call you back in middle school and all of that kind of stuff, and it don't have the same effect no more because you already know I'm her. I am her. And anything you got to say don't mean anything to me. I know who I am. I know who I am. And sometimes you'll get to places where you can remember, but you'll have a slight lack of judgment, and you can say some things to yourself. I've done it before. What matters is you don't stay in that place and believe those things about yourself. So I appreciate you all for coming through and adding to the conversation, because sometimes it get lonely talking to yourself. So the chicken. Yeah, girl, Shay, look at her yesterday. She is getting so big, and she ain't even that yellow anymore. Like her colors are, you can tell she's gonna be very, very colorful. I don't know how many colors she gonna have them, but she definitely ain't gonna continue to be that yellow slash white looking color. She got colors starting to pop through already. So, um, and just to know too, I called her ugly yesterday because something wrong. Her little neck or something, like she going through that stage where like her real feathers are coming in, but up in this area, I said, "Girl, you look like a real chicken head for real." You look like a real chicken head for real, but we gonna love you anyways, girl. You turned into a little ugly duckling right now, but she is definitely happy. The kids is feeding her, let her go out and walk in the yard, and get her own little grass and all of that stuff. And but she noticed the kids get away from her. She put them wings up in there. She flying and everything. I say, look at Shay flying. Okay, maybe I might be speaking something to you, Shay. Girl, I say you flying and everything over here. So I don't know what that means. All right, Shay. I believe in that's an affirmation right there. Shay, you flying today, girl. I'm telling you, girl, I ain't even know the chicken could fly. You put her down on the ground, girl. She stretched them wings out and she caught wind. I guess she was like, you ain't finna leave me over here, because they scared of like other hawks and stuff that's flying in the sky. But honey, she got probably like 4 feet distance between her and my daughter. Honey, she caught the air, tried to get back on. Girl, don't play with me like that. Don't be leaving me out here in the open. So she is spreading her wings and flying and everything. So, but you all, I'm going to say this is the end of our conversation for right now, because y'all know me. Something else happened that I need to come on here and talk about, I'll be right back on here. But I really enjoyed y'all out here in the garden this morning. I really do. And I hope y'all enjoyed the the scenery the same way that I. But all right, y'all, we gonna get a spin right there at the last minute. You're going to share your thoughts on Diddy. I'm not here all the time, but I'll catch the replay. I didn't say nothing about it? Oh, well, and I said okay. Then let me go back to that because I sure did. Thank you for reminding me, Nisa, because you know I get on another subject with the quickness and be forgetting what I said. Thank you so much for reminding me. I do not take offense to that. Thank you so much, Nisi, for bringing me back today. Y'all know how I be working over here. I saw him make an apology, and as soon as I seen him make that apology, I started laughing like hell because all of the things that he did to make sure that it did not get out, and all of a sudden now when it's in the public eye, you sorry? No, you ain't sorry. You sorry that tape got out. He went $50,000 deep to try to make sure that tape didn't come out, and all of a sudden you sorry. And the way he kicked that girl ass, it wasn't the first time he did it. And it wasn't the second time, and it wasn't the third time. And I'm almost willing to bet when he beat up on that day, it was not the last time. He did it again. But he's sorry about this one that happened. How many years ago that happened? And you sorry about it all of a sudden because now the world is seeing it. Now, see, this the part right here where and I think I strayed away from it the first time because this the kind of stuff right here that make cuss words want to come to my mouth. This he ain't sorry. That's what I'm gonna say. Cause yeah. He even made songs about it. He took that, and he kept on trying to take that. But Puffy, Diddy, whatever they gonna call you, cause you done changed your name a whole bunch of times. You gonna be in there playing around with them boys that you like to play. Look here. You're going to pay one way or the other. And to think that all of that time, and that's why if you're a survivor of any traumatic situation and somebody is trying to tell you that what you know happened to you, it didn't happen and they were not there to witness it or unwitness it or whatever, stand your ground on everything that you say because there were millions of people out here calling Cassie a liar, saying she was not telling the truth, that she just wanted the money. And ain't it something that she had to stand on her own feet when there was no proof, it wasn't out here for the world to see that she's telling the truth. And she had to go and stand there, but he submitted in less than 24 hours after she made the demands that she made, and he paid it off. And then for him to come out to then say that he ain't he not admitting to anything because all of the stuff is lies, only for it to turn around and now you out here saying apology, bitch, we don't accept it. And yes, he is what you call a bitch boy. I can almost respect somebody better if they kick your ass and they ready to scream it to the world that yeah, I kicked your ass. I got more respect for him than the one that he just showed us. And them tears he was trying to come make out. Want to play on the devil's ground all your life, and now all of a sudden you want to add God to what you got going on. Boy, keep on smiling and doing the devil's dirty work like you've been doing already, and see how it work out. Hmm. But do I believe a Diddy? No. Let me tell you something. Yeah, no. I'm gonna just leave it there because when we start talking about stuff like this, I can be going and going, and then I'll be done triggered my own self and be yelling about something totally different. But yeah, that's how I feel about it. I don't think I don't. Do I believe his apology? Absolutely not. He'd have still been trying to maintain his innocence until now we got the proof that he actually was doing all that we thought he was doing before. And it ain't the only thing that's gonna come out because, honey, when it rains, it pours. So Just as sure as this little stuff done trickled out about Diddy, he won't be the last one because this is the year of exposure. A lot of people, a lot of people are going to get exposed. Some exposure is going to be for the good, and some exposure, because you know, exposure can also come to set you free. Sometimes people bound up in things that haven't been exposed to the world only comes to set you free because you're the only one that's in bondage from whatever it is that you holding on. So exposure can work in two different ways, but the kind of exposure that Diddy is going to get is the ones where he's been throwing rocks and hiding his hands for a long time. The pocket that's behind him is full of those stones that he's been grabbing out of the bag and cutting. And now the other team where he been slinging those rocks at, they now have all of the rocks and they all getting ready to be thrown back at him at the same time. So, and it's just gonna be, when is it gonna happen? But you can't think that this one thing that just fell out of the closet, this gonna be the one and only thing that fell out of it. Nope. um Yes, he is definitely sorry he got caught. He ain't sorry about nothing that he did. Nothing. That boy didn't even look sorry. He went back and forth to that room several times and came back out and then started picking up the vases. Hitting the girl with the vases, and the way it literally looked like this boy's picking up a 2 pound teddy bear, the way he picking that girl up and just slinging her around the place. It was ridiculous. And not, he put his feet on her. He put his feet on her. He ain't sorry, and for him to come out and say to the world none of the statements and stuff that was made about him is true, only to find out all of it is true and some. So, that's how I feel about that. And again, I don't want to dig too far in it because I don't want to trigger my own stuff. But she's spreading her wings and flying, and not with no R. Kelly either. And listen, I almost said literally just a few minutes ago, I'll take a R. Kelly any day than this one right here that's in front of us right now. So I don't want either one of them, but I'd rather deal with an R. Kelly than to deal with Diddy's kind. Mm-mm. But I don't either. My daughter said he apologized to everyone, but not to Cassie. And to be honest with you, what do it mean for him to apologize to any of us? Hell, he ain't did nothing to us but been on our TV screen inside our house. He wizard her ass to pieces. And he out here apologizing to us people and couldn't even make a tear come out his eye. His face didn't even look believable. There was not. I don't know nobody who sat in front of that TV and filmed 1 ounce of sorrow for Diddy. I don't know. I would like to see a person who actually felt sorry for the video that he released, because I didn't see anything. He just looked like he got up and then put no lotion on his ashy face to try and make people feel like he done rolled around in the dirt or something. Nah, why you ain't coming on here smiling like you been doing all over the world and stuff, going where you wanted to go? Why you ain't smiling now? I didn't feel not 1 ounce of sincerity, not 1 ounce of sorrow. Don't feel absolutely nothing for him. When I first knew that it was finna be an apology, I actually wanted to just turn the station because I don't believe him. Yeah, yeah. Let me leave Diddy. Let me leave Diddy alone. Right. Okay. Um. But all right, y'all. The cover was pulled, and a lot more gonna be pulled. What's done in the dark eventually comes to the light. Y'all see that light? Y'all see that sun up there? That's how the sun gonna shine on all that been going on in these situations. Yes. But you all, this has been our day out in the garden, and we gonna carry on with what? Yes, he absolutely has buried himself. Nah, but let me say this too. I keep saying I'm gonna go, but I keep on talking to y'all, and that's how I be, child. Like I start talking to people, and then I don't know how to turn it loose. do do I think there is forgiveness for him? Absolutely, it can be. But do I think he sincerely mean what he's saying right now? Nope. Cause I suspect he gonna be lying about a whole bunch of stuff that he done did. And I'm telling you, that just this little drop, cause this just a little drop of what he been doing. Little tiny drop. His water faucet about to be turned on. And that's on everything. I ain't telling you what I think finna happen. His water faucet is just drop the drip right now. He gonna have a leak in his water hose before this year is over with. That thing gonna be running like somebody fully turned the faucet on, because we don't know half, not even half of what this man has done. We done heard all of the allegations and everything, and I know y'all done heard it. The evidence is there. Shoot, when I seen him telling who he told Fabulous that he wanna have a real party. We done partied before, but we ain't real Child did it don't want no women's no ways. He wants the men's, because I ain't never seen no man. I ain't never seen a man that I deem manly in that way. That's telling another man to show somebody, or even talking about the size of the next man's jump. But this boy is one of those people. He want everything that's under the sun, and he don't want to be denied anything. He want it all. So I'm gonna leave that. I'm gonna leave that alone, because that make me think way, way deep, way, way too deep. So let me now that right there, Nisi. Woo! I love the way he walked up in there. He knew something was gonna happen on that day. Cause see, did it? See, Nisi, you trying to make me stay on here, ain't you? You trying to make me stay on here, cause see now you done brought up my boy Mace, who I absolutely love. I love the way he walked this out and everything, how things was looking so down for him and everything, and they was out here saying everything that they wanted to say. But when Mace came back and he opened up his mouth to speak, man, just go and look him up. Put him Mace and Diddy name together and start to watch those videos, Lisa. Let me tell you something. When you playing on the devil's team, it's only so long you can win. But when God be for you, ain't nobody out here can be against you. That's why I be saying, just because you doing something and it don't look like it's going the right way for you, don't mean you should give up. Maybe God wants you to do it in a different way. Maybe do it in a different way. But when you sowing the right seeds, you ain't got no other choice but to come out on top. It kept looking like people kept saying, man, Mace need to sit down somewhere. Look at him. He done went and joined the church. He done went and did this. And then Mace came out here and he walked into a meeting where he done backed Puffy into a corner and got him to sign that piece of paper that he needed him to sign. He is free. He is free. And it took him some time to do it. Listen to him talk about the years that it took him to get to this place. And all the same, even though it took him this long to get here, it feels absolutely amazing. Because see, one thing about it, when Mace get his redemption back, right? Do you understand, once you've been redeemed from something, it's been proven that you didn't do that. You don't only get to celebrate on that day. That put a that put like a what you that put like a branding in your mind or something somewhere. And every time somebody try to knock you down, that branding that's there was like, no, this over here was happening to me at this point, and I know how God turned this around, so I know how this can be turned around. You never end up back in that place again. So I'm telling you, What Mace just waited on to happen and come through, this is only the beginning for him. See, Mace was that thing, what you call, he who is first shall be made last, and he who is last shall be made first. So ain't that just switched around? All of a sudden, Mace was down at the bottom, and now somebody else done came to footstool. Cause see, when Mace throw that piece of paper out there and asked him to sign it in that radio station on that day, Diddy was the stepping stool that Mace stepped on to step up to the next place, which was the one that was trying to tear him down for all this time. Catch y'all. So you got somebody who keep on trying to dig a hole and put you down in it. The hole that they digging for you will be the hole that they fall in. You'll be able to walk on their head, not to stump them down into the ground, but they will be the stepping stool for you to get past the hole that they dug for you to fall in. And you still gonna be walking on level ground, no matter how it looks. Okay, and now with that said, Nisa, don't you say nothing else in this chat. No, I'm just joking. No, I'm just joking. Go back, let me see what Mace hate him deep down. I don't know. I don't know why. If he goes to God in sincerity. Yep. He as bright as those sunflowers. I don't know what I don't know what Mace experienced. Yeah, what he showed ain't what he Mace been talking about it for a long time. Cause when he first left, I became interested in him, especially when he started to get into ministry and stuff. Um, I was following him a little bit back then, but he's on here because y'all know Mace don't like to do interviews and stuff or whatever. So I think eventually he's gonna be telling his own story in his own ways. He doesn't do a whole lot of interviews with people, but he do got some things out here where he talking a little bit about the things that he been through. That even on that night that Biggie was unalive, that they actually had him. They were all at a hotel together, and all of them some kind of way left him there with all the people that was after him to get rid of him, and some kind of way he was able to get out of it. But then again, that's what I said to you: when God be for you, can't nobody be against you. They had done set him up to be also taken out, and it didn't work. So Mace had Mace had to run to God. I only saw one person in my real life run to God like Mace. One of my best friends, she found out she had terminal cancer. She literally ran to a closed church. Let me tell you something. They say every knee shall bow and every tongue shall confess. It don't matter how you got there, long as you get there. And so if they had to put a situation on them way run, and I can tell you this right here, I didn't run. I didn't run to Christ until I went through the thing what I went through mentally. It was more than I could bear. But let me tell you what I was doing. I was making God all kinds of promises. God, if you get me out of this right here, right now, I do X, Y, and Z. Honey child, I know I was lying my ass off every time that I said I wasn't literally lying, but I was making promises to God that I really had no intention. It was just like trying to make a bribe with him until you find out that you cannot bribe God. He know your heart. He know your intentions and everything until a situation comes that make you have to stand on what it is that you actually said. So do I think that there's forgiveness for not our kind of forgiveness? Not our kind of forgiveness, because the world gonna cast a judgment on him for the rest of his life. But is there forgiveness for him in God's eyesight? Absolutely. But that's where he gonna have to go to get it from. Especially on the day. The day he can't get it. He can't get no forgiveness right now. But we gonna work on it, because God said we can't forgive them, then we can't be forgiven. But God, I'm just saying, just the day I ain't ready. I ain't ready on the day to forgive him. And I don't even know if he want to be forgiven right now, because I don't believe him. But then that's just, oh, a yellow fly just bit me. Okay, y'all. All right, y'all. The yellow fly is trying to attack me now. Child, please. That's like the equivalent of getting bit by a little old bitty miniature bee or something. But yeah, we finna leave this garden. No, we gonna set we got I gotta set this water sprinkler in our next place. And then I am out of here, y'all. But I thank y'all again for this is such a beautiful first day back into the garden and conversating with you all. I appreciate you all for being here because you could have spent your time anywhere else, but you decided to spend it over here with Miss Shauna. But you all, I will see you all, if not later on today, tomorrow. But until then, y'all continue to grow. There's a lot of growth that can happen overnight. A lot of growth that can happen overnight. Until then, y'all keep on growing. See y'all later.